Hello! In this video we'll make application which converts degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit using signals in Angular. We will use next things: as read-only method, update method and set method on signals, and also we will use computed and effect functions. Let's start. What are signals once again? Signal is a wrapper around the value that notifies interested consumers when the value changes. You read a signal's value by calling its getter function, like here in template. This allows Angular to track where the signal is used and when the signal changes. Only the parts that depend on it are updated. This leads to better performance and more efficient rendering. Here in code, we have one readable signal which will save information about degrees Celsius. Readable signals provide an API for updating value of signal. Calling this signal function with this initial value, 0, we will create one readable signal and store it in this variable. We have here initial value 0 for degrees, but we want to have possibility to change that. So we will make here one method, update degrees Celsius, copy this. Okay. For parameter, we will have new value. And inside this method, to change value of readable signal, we will use set method. Copy this dot set, and for parameter we will have new value. Okay, this will be number, and that's it. Also for practice, we can make one method to increase degrees by 1. Here, increase, copy this, by 1. Okay. Now inside this method, we can use a second useful method to change value of readable signal, and that is update method. Copy this dot update, and this method will have arrow function as parameter, value, arrow, value plus 1, and this will be current value of degrees, and this on right side will be new value, and with this our degrees Celsius will be updated by 1. Let's do same for decrease by 1, only here minus, and it will be decrease. That's it. We will go now in template and make UI for this. We need one input field to enter new value for degrees and to update our degrees Celsius value of signal with this value from input. We will use button here, button, and on click we will call update degrees Celsius method, this one. And we need to pass somehow this value from input. But how? We can do that if we declare a template reference variable on our input element, for example here, using the hash symbol and name of variable, for example input. Using this variable, we have access to this element and we can get value on this way here, input dot value. Okay, and this is very useful in Angular templates. Let's see, we have some error here. Argument of type string is not assignable to parameter of type number. So yes, this value here is string, but here inside method we're expecting number, so we can change this. Okay, and here we will convert this string into number. We will use number method parse int. Okay, and now it's okay. Let's go in template. So when we enter some number in input and click on this button update, let's write update here for label. Our signal will be updated also, and we will see results now in browser. Run application. Okay, and let's test this. If we enter 10 here and click update, our signal value will be updated, and that is what we expected. Let's put this input and this button in new line in template. We can add here break and also here, and let's see now. Okay, now it looks better. So what we want also here, we want also to have buttons for increasing and decreasing degrees by 1. On click, increase by 1, and also here we missed here parentheses, also here, and here we will have decrease, and now it's okay. After we set new value for degrees here, we will delete value in input. Okay, why we are doing this? Because it looks better if we enter 10 and update. This value in input will be deleted, and we don't want to make confusion which value is that, and it is better to delete that number. Okay, and here we choose this approach to manually pass value in this method, update degrees Celsius, because we wanted to demonstrate using of this set method here on signals, but for sure we could use ng model here on input and direct bind our signal here, but this approach, this second approach, is better for our example, so we will not use this. What we need more to add here in template, we need to make component which will convert our degrees in Celsius to Fahrenheit. So we will use ngCli for that. ngGC Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay. We will use this component in our template here. And what we need to pass inside this component as input property, we want to pass Celsius. Okay. It is logical to pass here degree Celsius signal, but this signal is variable signal, as you can see here, and we don't want to pass directly that signal to child component because we don't want to be changed. So we will create in our code here one read-only version of this signal, public read-only. We will copy this and here we will use this degree Celsius, and on readable signal there is method as read-only. So this will make read-only signal. It will have type signal, not readable signal. Okay, it will be number also. We will use this signal here in template as input property here. Okay, and let's now make this input property in our Celsius to Fahrenheit component here. Input. It is required Celsius. Okay, it is a signal with type number. Okay, import this. That's it. And now when we have this data about degrees in Celsius, in our component we can make conversion in Fahrenheit. But we want to do that each time when the Celsius signal is changed to get new value for Fahrenheit. For that purpose, we have computed signals in Angular. Their value will be computed every time when some signal on which they are dependent is changed. So we will have here public Fahrenheit. It will be signal with number type. Okay. And to make computed signal, we will call computed function. This one. And it will have arrow function inside, which will return value for this signal. Okay. I will copy here expression for calculation. It is some mathematic. Okay. And what is most important here, every time when our Celsius signal is changed, this value will be computed again, and the new value will be inside our Fahrenheit signal. We can use this Fahrenheit in our template here. Okay, and add parentheses here because it is a signal. And let's see now in browser how it looks. We will add one line, new line here. Okay, now it's better. Let's test this. 0 Celsius is 32 Fahrenheit, and this is correct. And 10 Celsius needs to be 50, and it's correct. So this is good. And let's test this increase and decrease. And it works okay also. At the end, I want to show you also effect function for signals. Effect function in Angular is a function that runs some code automatically whenever a signal it uses changes. We will call this function in our constructor for component here, effect. And inside that function, we can use console log in arrow function. And inside console logged, we will print temperature changed and print Celsius signal value. And how this effect function works, basically every time when signal that is used inside this arrow function is changed, in our case Celsius, this code inside arrow function will be executed. In our case it is some log, but generally effect we are using for some logging propose when something happen, we want to print console or call some API to set there something or notify about change. And let's see finally this in browser. Open console and set something. Okay, we can see 10 is displayed here in log. If we set 0 again, it will be printed also here. So our effect function working. And once again, Computed calculates a value based on other signals and automatically updates when they change, while effect runs side effects like logging or saving whenever the signals it uses change. Now, finally, we finished our application. So I hope you learned something new about signals. Thanks for watching, subscribe, like, and see you in the next video.